Hello and welcome to the first episode of the Fluency First Podcast. I'm here with my Nanan. We don't say grandma, do we?
No.
No, we say, what do we say?
Nanan.
Nanan or Nana.
Yeah.
So why don't we say grandma then?
Grandma's old-fashioned.
Is it?
I think it is.
Some people say granny. How about granny?
No.
No?
I like Nana the best.
Okay. Well, in this podcast, we always start with small talk. So small talk are easy conversations about the weather, the weekend, work. And Nana, you have been somewhere recently. Where have you been? So Nana, you've been on holiday recently, haven't you?
Yes.
Where have you been?
Benidorm.
And how was it?
All right.
Yeah? What did you do there?
Not telling you.
Well, did you enjoy the food?
Yes, it was all right because it was a place where you could go and help yourself.
Oh, okay. Like a buffet?
No, it was like a big room and it got all sorts of food for all sorts of different people.
Oh, and you can eat as much as you want?
Yes. Yes.
That's a buffet, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. And
all cooked food in the mornings: bacon, eggs, sausage, tomatoes. You have, you name it, you got it.
very nice. And did you enjoy the sea?
We didn't get to see the sea because we was a long way away from it.
Oh.
Yeah, we were, honestly.
So you didn't have a swim?
No, not even a paddle.
Oh, but you enjoyed it though?
Yes, it was all right.
And was it your first time going there?
Yes.
Oh, first time.
Yes.
Did you learn a lot of Spanish?
We? No, that's French.
Okay, so let's learn more about the guest, my grandma. We don't say grandma, we say Nanan or Nana. So where were you born and when were you born?
I was born in Bond Street Nursing Home on Easter Sunday, 1930.
1930. So how old does that make you?
What now?
Yeah.
95, isn't it?
95, everyone. How does that feel to be 95?
Well, it doesn't make me feel old.
Doesn't it?
No, it doesn't. No way. No way. If I could do things kids are doing now, I'd do it.
Yeah, my Nanan always wanted to go on a zip line. Right?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll try to get my Nanan on a zip line.
I'd love that.
Like a zip wire where you slide down, don't you?
Yeah, you sit down and you slide all the way down.
Wouldn't it be scary for you?
No, I'd love it.
Okay, let's do it, shall we?
Yeah.
Yeah, so where did you grow up?
Down Bath Lane. It was called Bath Lane.
Bath Lane. Which city is that?
Leicester City.
Leicester.
Yeah.
Okay, Bath Lane. Interesting.
It was called Bath Lane because there was a pub halfway up the road and it was called the New Bath. And it was a pub. It used to be open till 10, 11 o'clock at night.
Oh, wow. And when you were young, Nanan, what was your house like when you were a child? What do you remember about the house when you were very young?
Well, my mum hadn't got a house. She rented this house from this man who was ill. He slept in the front room all the time.
What?
He slept in
The man who owned the house
Yeah.
slept in the house?
My mum used to pay rent and we lived in the two back rooms.
Oh, okay. So it was a shared house.
Yes, I suppose so.
Wow. And what do you remember about the house? Was it big, dark, cold?
No, it was,
small? What?
Well, I used to think it were a poor house, really. Although people lived like that then.
Yeah, yeah. Did you have any brothers or sisters?
Had a brother who died.
When you were young?
He died, yeah, he wasn't very old. And I got a brother who was, what was Albert? I think Albert was about 4 or 5 years older than me.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was Ray. And there's about 18 months between me and Ray.
Yeah. And you two were thick as thieves,
Yeah.
as they say.
Yeah.
Like 2 peas in a pod.
Yeah. Because he used to smoke, and my dad used to tell him off. Used to hit him because he used to smoke. But
Goodness.
When I started work, I used to buy 5 fags in a five cigarettes.
Can you buy 5 cigarettes?
I could then, yeah.
How big was the pack?
About.
Was it tiny?
No, about like that.
Okay, so you used to buy cigarettes
Yeah.
for Ray, your brother?
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. But he was a bit of a rebel because there was him and his friend, Fred Goss. And there was thick as thieves, the pair of them. And my mum used to hit Fred thinking it was Ray. And he'd say, Mrs. Bottrell, it's me, I'm Fred, not Ray.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
What did your mum do?
They just took it. They didn't say, oh, they went and told the mama. I mean, if they told the mama, his mother would probably say, well, you deserved it, so that's what.
Interesting. Nowadays, it would be very different.
Yeah, they'd have you up, wouldn't they?
Yeah, something would happen.
Yeah, they'd have you up.
And, when you were in your teens, Nana, right, 13, 14, what kind of things did you do for fun?
Roller skating mostly.
Roller skating.
Cycling.
Cycling.
I bought a bike, it was £15.
You were quite sporty then,
What?
weren't you? You were very active.
Yeah, bought this.
Isn't that where you met Grandad? At a rolling...
I met him at the rolling skate, yeah, roller skates, yeah. But,
What did you think of school when you were young?
oh dear, don't tell me about school.
Why?
Because I was in this class and I was doing something and the teacher made me, because he had the blackboard that swung round,
Oh, yeah.
and the teacher made me stand behind the blackboard. But the thing was, I kept peeping round and the class was in uproar.
Because you were like laughing. You were like peeping like that.
Yeah, everybody were laughing and that. And the teacher hit me. So my mum went up to school and hit the teacher.
Really? Yeah. How old were you, roughly?
8, 9.
You're a bit cheeky, weren't you?
Yeah.
And what job did you do when you were younger?
Cutting. Started cutting when I was 14.
And how long did you do that for?
Till I was, 65. From 14 to about, till I was 65.
You had the same job from age 14 to 65.
Yeah.
Cutting.
Yeah.
That means cutting clothes.
Yeah.
Normally, right? Usually.
Started off cutting men's, fishermen's vests and pants.
Did you enjoy it?
I loved it.
What did you like about the job?
I just liked it, something I liked and something I could do right.
Okay, now we are going to talk about the main topic, the main theme of this episode, and that is the past and the present. So I will ask you questions about the past.
Yeah.
And then we will compare with the present. So Nana, what was a normal day like when you were young?
We used to go to school, used to play in the street, play hopscotch.
Okay.
Do you know what hopscotch is, don't you?
I do. Can you describe it?
Yeah, you got the slabs on the floor and you draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you had a stone and you had to throw the stone, and wherever the stone went, you had to hop on one leg to it.
And, back in the day, what did you have for breakfast? What was a normal breakfast?
Porridge.
Porridge?
Yeah.
Every day?
Yeah. My mum used to make it with milk.
Oh, right, porridge. And how did you cook food? Was there an oven?
Yes, like what do you call them? Stoves?
Like a gas oven?
Gas oven, yeah.
So you had an oven in the house?
Yeah.
You didn't use coal?
We did have coal fires, but I don't think she used to. No, she used to use the oven.
And it sounds silly, but when you were young, did you have electricity in the house?
No, it was all gas.
No electricity?
No, gas.
So how did you turn on the lights?
It was, you had a mantle, like a white thing, and you put the mantle in. But if you touched the mantle with your matches, it broke and it used to throw a flame down.
Where did people buy food when you were young? Were there big supermarkets like Tesco's and Sainsbury's?
No. Or they had we used to go to Worthington's quite a lot. But it was sort of a shop on the corner or something like that.
Okay, so it was small local shops.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, but were there supermarkets? When I know you didn't go to supermarkets.
No, we had open market.
Oh, like a real market.
A real market, yes. Yeah.
Wow. Here's a question for you, Nana. What was your favourite meal as a child? Difficult.
It was difficult because we didn't have the money to buy expensive food or nice food. You sort of had to buy what you could afford. So, but we used to get chips in a little bag. How much for?
Well, I don't know the old money, everyone.
Tuppence.
Tuppence. That means nothing to me.
Bag of chips for tuppence. And they put salt and vinegar on for you as well.
So you said there wasn't like a lot of food. Did people grow their own vegetables when you were younger?
Yes.
Was it normal?
They had allotments or bits of ground where they could grow things. We had allotment, a big allotment my dad had, yeah.
Okay, another question, Nana. How is food different today from the past?
You get a lot more variety.
Variety, right? There are many different types.
You could go to the butcher's and get 6 penny worth of bones to make a stew for your dinner.
Bones.
Yeah.
And is food today cheaper or more expensive?
Very expensive today.
Okay. And does it taste better today, or do you long for food when you were younger?
Well, I think the food then was more substantial than what it is now.
More substantial? What do you mean?
Well, it was plain and it was filling.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Like potatoes?
Oh, yes. Used to like a jacket potato. That was a treat.
A jacket potato was a treat?
Yeah.
So now let's talk about technology and communication. So did you have a phone in the house when you were young?
No, you couldn't afford a phone.
Oh. So when did you have your first phone in the house?
Probably when we were married.
Really?
Yeah.
So Nana, if you didn't have a phone in the house, how did you send messages to people?
Well, if you wanted to speak to somebody and they weren't too far away, you'd go and knock on the front door and say, "Can I come in?" And they'd sit talking.
So everything was in person?
Yes, yeah.
So Nana, what do you think about smartphones today and the internet? What do you think about it?
I don't think about it because I don't know anything about it and I don't use it, David.
So you don't have a
No.
smartphone?
No.
Would you like one? I can buy you one
No,
if you
I don't
want.
I had a phone and I think I lost it. Yeah, I
You
did.
lost your phone. And what do you think about smartphones and the internet? Do you like them? Are you curious, or you don't want anything?
No, I don't want anything to do with them.
Why is that?
I don't know. It's I think they might be a bit beyond me.
Yeah, like it's a bit scary, isn't it?
Yeah.
Technology you don't know.
Yeah.
For example, I'm not very good with technology, and I don't, I've got an iPad, but I don't really know how to use it.
I wouldn't know how to use one of them.
Yeah, but that's okay. Holidays and travel. Let's
Yeah.
talk about holidays and travel. So, did you ever go abroad when you were young?
No.
No, never.
I went on a holiday when I was about 19. First holiday ever.
And where did you go?
Skegness.
Skegness.
Yeah.
Skeggy.
Skeggy.
Skeggy, yeah, we call it Skeggy. That's great. Was it fun? Do you remember it?
Yes, yes.
What did you do?
Used to have pennies and used to go on roundabouts, get toffee apples for a penny. And then you'd perhaps have 2 penny. You got chips in the bag for 2p, so we'd have two pennies of chips between us, between 2 of us.
Okay, so what was a holiday like in the 1940s or 50s? When were you born again?
1930.
1930. Wow. So that makes you 95. How does it feel to be 95?
No different to 94.
So yeah, the question is, what was a holiday like in the 1940s or the 1950s?
You must remember the war was on, David.
Right.
1939 was the war, weren't it?
Yeah.
Till, what was it, 40-something? 1940-something, yeah.
And then even after the war, you had rations, right?
Yes.
Rations are like where you can't just buy as much food.
No, you had a
as
ration book with coupons in, and if you could only get stuff like you wanted cooked meat, you could only get 2 ounces, which is only a couple of slices.
And that's for the whole family?
Yeah.
And did you have to queue a lot?
Yes. There was a place, Wendy remembers it, remember where they went, called Hilliers, and they did cooked meat. And you could go there and you could get udder, which is cow's udder.
Udder?
Yeah.
You ate udders?
Yeah, cow's udder, yes. Pig's feet.
Yeah, pig's feet.
All sorts of things. Brawn. Brawn was all the bits of meat all pressed together and made it into slices.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So back then, food was scarce, right? There wasn't a lot of food. So you made the most of the meat, didn't you? You ate everything.
Yes, you had to.
Nowadays,
couldn't get down from the table unless you finished your plate. If your plate weren't clean, that was it. You sit there till you eat it later.
But I'm sure some people travelled a bit, even if it wasn't a holiday. Did people travel more by train or by bus?
I guess they did, but we never did because I think we were poor. Because, there was only my dad working at the post office.
Yeah.
As you know.
I do. Well, did people go to the beach back then?
Well, if they did, we used to think they were rich.
Oh, right.
Things were hard, and during the war they were hard.
Yeah. Let's now talk about people and community. So, were people more friendly in the past? What do you think?
Yeah, I think people helped other people out.
Like the neighbours?
Yeah, your neighbours, yes. Yeah, talk about neighbours.
Why?
And the lady next door worked at a college. She was a cook, and she used to bring stuff home. And she brought these plums home. And we had she gave us some plums. And I had these plums, and I was ill in the night, and we had to fetch the doctor out.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "You're all right," because the doctor were ever so nice, Dr. Gibson, and he came out and gave me some stuff. He said, "You'll be all right now, Frida." Quite friendly. And the next morning, Mrs. Palmer, the woman next door who gave us the plums, she said, "Are you all right now?" So I said, "No," I said, "it were your plums that made me bad."
What did she say to that?
My mum clouted me one.
Really?
Whack.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it were your plums that made me bad.
But you think the neighbours talked more to each other back
yeah,
then
yeah.
than today?
Yeah,
Do you think?
yeah.
Did you like that neighbours talked to each other and helped each
And
other?
I'll tell you something, I don't know if you want to put it down or not, but you used to go to and the toilets were outside and they were back to back. See, that 1 and 2 had got this toilet, 3 and 4 had got that toilet. I used to go to the toilet at night. You used to sit there, and then you'd sit there and you'd say, "Is that you, Alf?" "Yeah." "Are you all right, Frida?" "Yeah." And we used to sit and talk to each other on the toilet for ages.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And then I bought a bike. I was 15. My mum had to sign for it, and I bought this bike. And I used to, if I got a puncture, and I used to say to Alf, "I've got a puncture." I used to give him 2 and 6 to mend my punctures on my bike.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
And my bike cost me £15, and I had to pay weekly on it.
That's
And
a lot of
I was
money.
only earning about £1 a week.
Wow, that's a lot of money. Weren't the toilets cold outside?
Yes, because you had to go across the yard.
Did you use newspaper?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Did you
You used to sit and cut it in squares and put it on a string.
Did you use the Times or the Daily Mail?
Anything.
I'm just joking. Here's a question. Do you think people were happier or more relaxed back then?
I think they were happier, but they were poor.
Mm.
Very poor, very, very poor, some people.
Interesting. That's really interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. And if you'd got anything, like if you got stew or something like that, and you'd made too much and you didn't want it, you'd give it the next door neighbour.
Ah,
Yeah.
that's nice. But it's interesting, isn't it, that like today we have as much food as we want.
Yeah.
You can buy you can go to Aldi and get really cheap food for
Yeah.
Lidl or something, but maybe people aren't as happy
No.
as they were. But we don't really know, do we?
And I tell you, Friday night we used to hilarious because you had a wash house outside your, in the yard, what all the people used, and it had the copper in, what you put a fire underneath the copper
Okay.
and boil all your clothes in this copper.
Right. What's it called? A copper something? What is it?
We used to call it the copper.
Okay, the copper.
And then at night time, when it was empty, fill it up with hot water, and all the kids used to go in it.
What do you like better about life today, do you think?
I think you've got more freedom. You've got nicer food.
Mm.
Yeah, I think that's about it, Dave. You've got nicer food, and if you've got a nice friend, keep it.
What do you miss about the past? That's what I want to know.
Friends, I think, because people were a lot friendlier, and people helped other people out. They don't do that these days.
Yeah, I think people have become more selfish.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think nowadays it's very, competitive. It's very expensive, isn't it, to live?
Yeah.
Rent and electricity and gas, your utilities, right? Water.
Yeah.
Everything costs so much money. House prices. So that's maybe why.
Yeah, but your house used to be about 5 shillings a week.
Is that a lot?
5 shillings? 5 shillings.
Is that a lot?
Do you call it a lot?
I don't know.
No, you don't.
Is it good?
Well, we used to think 5 shillings was expensive.
Oh. Do you think life is easier or harder now?
I think it's hard for people who haven't got a lot of money.
Okay, so at the end of my podcast episodes, I'm going to give the guest like a challenge question. It's not difficult, don't worry. It's just like an interesting question. Imagine you're 20 years old again, but you're living today in 2025. What's the first thing you would do or try that didn't exist when you were young?
Going on holiday.
You'd go on loads of holidays. Yeah, because it did exist, kind of. It didn't actually, did it? You said in the 1940s you didn't go on holiday.
No.
In the 50s you didn't go on holiday.
No, you couldn't afford it.
So if you're 20 years old right now, Nana, where would you go on holiday?
Australia.
Australia?
Yeah.
Where in Australia?
I forget where it is now.
We've got Perth, Brisbane, Sydney.
I think it's Perth where they live now. Because I went to Australia, stayed there for about 4 or 5 weeks.
I remember. I missed you a lot. I do remember that. I was very young though, wasn't I? If you could give one piece of advice to young people today, what would it be?
I think you could help other people out more than you do. Well, yeah.
Help others.
Yeah,
Be kind and help others.
yeah, help other people.
That's good. Okay, last one. If you could get rid of one thing from modern life, from today, what would it be?
I think selfishness.
Oh.
Because I think a lot of people are selfish.
Why do you think they're selfish?
Because they want something that you haven't got and they want to try and get it. Well, that's what I think. I don't know. Ian will say, load of bloody rubbish.
Okay, well that's it everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. Nana, thank you so much for doing this with me. I'm sure everyone's smiling as much as I am at home. It's really interesting hearing about what life was like back then. And you did a great job, and thank you so much for being my first ever guest. I'm going to let you have a rest now. Have you enjoyed it?
I have, yeah.
Okay, so before you go, everyone, I want to talk to you about my Nana's accent, her accent and dialect. Everyone has an accent. So an accent is how you say the words, and it's about pronunciation, right? Dialect is is the words and grammar you use. So it's about vocabulary and grammar. So like using different words or different phrases. So in the video, my Nana mixed was and were a lot. Did you notice? Well, that is very common in these parts of the UK. Maybe not as much here, but in the north of England and the East Midlands, it's popular. Here is Leicester, where my Nana was born, and here is where I was born. And actually, I also used to mix was and were, but I became an English teacher, right? So I had to relearn, reteach, right? Teach myself again about British grammar. But so in the video, for example, she says, "It were a poorhouse really. It were a poorhouse really," instead of "it was a poorhouse." Or "they was thick as thieves. They was thick as thieves," instead of "they were thick as thieves." And she also says weren't it instead of wasn't it. So my Nana's accent is a real part of British English, and you don't need to sound like her, but understanding these sounds will help you with your listening, especially with real conversations with people from different areas around the world. So here are a few more things she says. She says me mum and me dad a lot, right? Me mum instead of my mum. So yeah, mam just means mum or mother, and me is my, right? And it could be, my car, my house. Yeah, another thing, she drops her letters. So instead of perhaps, you will hear her say perhaps, perhaps. Because sound is more like cause, that's normal. You will hear that everywhere. Going to gonna. Another thing is she does a lot of contractions. That's a short form of two words. So when two words are put together, for example, my dad is called Ian, but she says Ian'll instead of Ian will. Ian'll say this, Ian'll say that. Here are some more common phrases, common ones. She'd go here and do this instead of she would, or they've. You maybe already know that, right? They have. So just remember, there is a free PDF with all the vocabulary and phrases from this episode. And let me know in the comments what you would like to hear about for next episode. We have about accents in England and the UK, or about teaching English, or something a bit more general, hobbies. So please just write the word or the phrase in the comments and let me know. I would really appreciate it. Okay, I think that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. And I'll see you in the next episode. Okay, bye-bye.